Hello everybody, my name is Tom and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines. Today we are here in our city Biscuitville, currently looking at the newest section of our city, the downtown residential area, which we have called Iceburdenland, I think. Iceburdenland. And funny story, I was thinking I might do a different video today on something else, another game, which I will get onto later. But I was just flicking through the last video just to make sure that I knew what I'd done before, sort of thing, what I'd said before, etc, etc. And I came across a shot of this new section just like this towards the end, and I was like, no, sorry, I've got to play City Skylines again. That game is too good, and so therefore I've got to play it again. So that's the story, really. Today I don't really have a great big plan as to what we are going to do. As you can see, the residential demand is already creeping up, so I think definitely some expansion of Iceburdenland is necessary. We've got all of this extra space here for the high density commercial, with a railway line running underneath it in this nice little underpass. I don't know how realistic that is, but we'll just leave it as it is. It's fairly realistic, I suppose. There's a part when you come into Liverpool Lime Street Station. There's a part where you do end up by going underground like this, and it's all sort of limestone walls, as if they literally just sort of scraped out a massive sort of gouge in the land and put a railway in, basically, straight underneath the sort of city centre. So I suppose it's somewhat realistic, and when we start to build up around here as well, it'll start to become more and more joined up, I think. I hope, anyway. I hope. So let's hit play and jump in. When I said that, I thought that I was going to do more sort of, there was going to be like fireworks and stuff like that. There wasn't any fireworks, guys. It didn't quite work out how I wanted it to. Never mind. One thing that I think we will do though is we will start to upgrade these roads along here to roads with sort of grass on the side. I don't know whether I want to go for the whole trees as well. Maybe we'll think about that, and let's do all the way around here as well, because it just neatens up the place, doesn't it? It stops people parking their cars on the side, which they don't need to do, to be fair. They could just go elsewhere. I'm sure these new sort of blocks have underground parking spaces for their residents. I'm pretty sure that's the case. We'll do the same. Yeah, we'll do the same along this road as well, just to neaten it up, like so. And then we can bring a road off here, which is the mirror of this side, and then we can think about what we do here. Now, as much as I don't think it's a good idea to have lots of intersections, well, that's not really working as an intersection, is it? If I bring a road off here, it sort of goes a bit sort of weird. Never mind, we will leave it as it is, and we'll just we'll figure something out. We'll always figure something out. That was not the desired effect, guys. That was not what I was intending to do. Let's bring another road to here. This is quite small, quite difficult actually. We haven't really left ourselves enough sort of space to do anything, which was an oversight on my part, but never mind, because that is far too much road for what the land needs. But never mind, that's what's happened, so we will just have to accept that. Before I do that, actually, just better put down some water, or else I'm going to start moaning. So get that in, and then people can start to move in. if we fill in that area and this area. I'm just very conscious of keeping our eye on the traffic, of how that's progressing. That will go up to a faster pace. There's plenty of traffic coming in, as you can see. There's a bit of a hold up here. What does the scores on the doors say? Where is it? Okay, yeah, it says that that's a bit of an issue and that's a bit of an issue, which is probably right, but I don't think it's too much of an issue just at the minute. It might get to the point where we have to do something about it, but at the minute it's alright. I mean, this is pretty bad over here actually. I hadn't quite realised how terrible it was over there. Apparently it's pretty bad. All over here. Why is that? Why is that happening? Not really much we can do about it. It's all the traffic that wants to get into this industrial zone that's causing it. I wonder if we put another junction here, whether that would take off some of the strain from that other one. Let's see, shall we? Just do this. It's a pretty repetitive formula for doing these, but it's one which I do think works, and I do think is good. And oh no, that was not what I wanted to do. That was, sorry guys, sorry. Let me just fix that, because that really needs fixing. Oh, blimey, that was a crisis. Well, almost. It was pretty bad. Make sure the islands go the right way around, because even though I'm playing left-hand mode, some reason it doesn't do the same inversions on things like that as it does elsewhere in the game. But that's alright. We can deal with that. Oh no. You see I'm saying this, but actually that's the right way around now, isn't it? That island's right. Maybe we need to check all of them. That one's right. Yeah. This one. That one's right. Okay. Well, why was that one wrong then? Nobody really knows. Fantastic. Well, it's sorted now anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Never mind. Page down there. Come round to here. So, that looks ugly as hell, doesn't it? We got to sort that out properly. There we are. That doesn't look too bad now. So hopefully people will start to use this on and off ramp to get into this area, or to get maybe to here, rather than, you know, especially goods coming in, rather than using just this one. So hopefully that will start to alleviate some of the issues which we are having. We're starting to get extremely high demand for industrial, and so I think that we should put down some offices in this space here. Buses are still running around it actually, which is not a bad thing. Start to put down some office space. Now power will be an issue, but we'll just bring it across from here for now. Yeah, really are high in demand, but that's okay. That is more than okay. We can also probably put in some more high density residential, no, not residential, sorry, high density commercial in this area, like so. We haven't got water to this section, so we'll just quickly do that now. That was pretty poor planning on my behalf, because it probably wants to cover this outer road as well, in case we ever wanted to put some whatever on that outer road. I don't really know. Probably just more commercial. Paused it there, so we'll do that. Let's see how that fills up. Start to take away some of the demand. Oh, where am I going? Here, this is where I want to go, to our new residential zone. How's the traffic looking here? Got some build-up of traffic here, but I think that's fine at the minute. Let's fill in this area as well. We'll start to anyway. We won't do it all at once, but we will do some of it. Trouble is, when you start, you don't really know when to stop. So I'm going to stop there, like so. Let's see what pops up. Some pretty big buildings there. Pretty big buildings. Let's have a look at land value. No, that's not land value. No, that's not land value. That was the land value. Okay, so most of it is just a general blue. This area is quite green, which is good. That's definitely good. There's some areas along here which are really, really green, which I do like. That's definitely good news. So hopefully that will start to improve as time goes on. Yeah, some of these buildings are already upgraded. Just saw one little green arrow. There we are, that one. That one's already upgraded, so hopefully these will start to go. Look, we've got our flashing towers again. They're pretty monstrous things, aren't they, really? Especially when this guy here, look how small that little townhouse is. We've got just this block of 3 townhouses. And there's just like this great 14-story high thing. Oh, it's alright, it's upgraded now, so it probably, was it that guy? Oh, it's that one. They're just huge, aren't they? Monstrous. Oh, this one's even bigger. Or is it just on a hill? No, I think it's even bigger, that one. It is also on a hill, so it's probably just that. But that is insane. Look at that. Oh, dear. It's just like the juxtaposition. That was a big word. That was definitely a big word for YouTube. It's a big word for me. These little 3-story houses, this just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-story house. Oh dear. Madness. Absolute madness. Madness in Biscuitville. Ah dear. Some more offices in here, I think, to take on the massive developments which are popping up all over Iceburn. I mean, these are pretty big, these ones here. I do like these rounded ones. I know I said that last video, but I do like them. I do definitely enjoy them. So yeah, so that's that really. We've still got some zone here which we're just going to get rid of because it's a bit pointless. Okay, let's have a look at let's zoom right out as far as we can go. Let's have a look at our coverage. Okay, so we haven't got the best coverage over here for garbage, which isn't the best. So because this isn't a particularly busy road, I think we can afford to run another straight line road across to there. So hopefully that will increase the no, it hasn't done that at all. Basically I was lying to you, so don't worry. I suppose what would help if we connected this road to there, but we'll worry about that later. In terms of capacity, we've got tons of capacity. Health is pretty average at the minute. One thing that will make these people a bit happier, hopefully, is a little health centre, so we'll pop that down. Our capacity for incineration is really quite high. It's really, what am I saying? Yeah, it's really high, but the issue we have is that it's not covering the area that we quite hope. So we'll stick down a few more, and hopefully that will start to cover the area that there is. I'm going to put if I can fit it in. Yep, I'm going to put these in, and I'm also going to empty them. Which I know seems like a bit insensitive and things like that, but try not to think too hard about it, because it really is a not very pleasant thought. Let's just move on from that one. Along here's looking good. Around here's looking good. They're all upgrading. We're getting quite high tiers. Okay, so we're bordering on 4th. Most of these are 3rd though. There's some quite high ones here which are all 4th, yeah. Not really too sure how we can get them right up to high. I will have to do a bit of research in between episodes, but that's something that definitely we should do. These are all 4th. These are all 4th. Blimey. Okay, so people are definitely enjoying this. There's a guy there that's just upgraded to 4th. Okay, makes sense. Some of them have got a little bit of blue showing on the next tier up, which is good. It's nice to see. Residential zone. We'll fill out the whole of this area. Traffic's getting pretty busy around here, but that's alright. People are just moving in, so it's bound to be a little bit more heavy than usual, so we will just allow that to sort of settle down. We do need quite a considerably large amount of office zones though. You can see like quite a large proportion's already taken up with offices. I know like it's brighter because it's a light colour, but already quite, you know, when you think about the amount of commercial space that we have, actually we do have a lot of offices, but I suppose we've taken away a massive amount of industry that we had, so you know, swings and roundabouts. We'll have to continue to develop this this zone here. We haven't actually given this. Is this a zone? No, it's not. Maybe we should give it a zone name. What's this one? The Bourbon Precinct. Rich T3000. Rich T3000 is starting to get some offices, which is going to be a rival to the Bourbon Precinct. Blimey. We're going to have some competition on our hands. Okay, this is going to be caps lock. The wagon wheel. It's not going to be that. It's going to be wagon wheel. Central retail park. Or maybe just wagon wheel retail park 3000. No, 3000. As fine as it is. Give us some class. Wagon wheel retail park there, doing its job. Fantastic. That's just the ticket. Just the ticket. I think just having a little bit of a look around and see what needs to be done. I mean, I think, you know, we're on top of things, guys. We're comfortably on top of things. We just got to keep doing what we're doing and keep laying down new areas and filling in bits of land and creating an awesome city. Look at the amount of traffic on our highways now. That is just mad. Over this little bridge bit here. Looks a bit like Bristol Bridge. It doesn't really, it just... I don't know why I said that. Just roll with it. Look at that. And there we are. We've reached another milestone, guys. We've done it. We've hit the big time. Grand City. It's the grandest city of them all. This one. The grandest, fairest city of them all. Biscuitville's where it's at, guys. It's the new London. All the Russian oligarchs are going to start buying up houses and things like that. I was watching a TV program the other day about sort of property prices in Britain, or specifically in London. It's insane. There's this guy who was like lived in a council house, it was like a 5-bedroom council house, and back in the 80s or the 90s or something, he bought it off the council for, I think it was like £120,000. You know, which is probably quite a lot of money back then, to be fair. But now it's worth 1.1 million. Like, that's insane. You know, that's your property's increased in value by 10 or 11 times. It's just insane to think that that's how much the demand for property in London has risen. Like, you know, just like a North London council house has gone up by that much in value over the past sort of 20, 25, 30 years. You can't even sort of comprehend that amount of inflation, because it is inflation. That's inflation, isn't it? At its peak, is it? I don't know what it is, but anyway, it's mad. I was sort of thinking, like, so what do we all do? Do we all go and buy houses in London as like an investment, and then in 30 years time we'll sell them and we'll be like 10 times richer than we are now, or like, what do we do? Because surely if everybody goes and does that, then the house prices will then fall because they'll have less value. Like, well, they won't, will they? They'll continue to rise, but there must be a point in which it reaches. Oh, look at this, by the way. I'm just going to pause for a second. 2 trains. This one taking 13% of cargo to Verburg, another city. We're exporting, guys. But yeah, like, you know, surely there must be a point where house prices reach an equilibrium and then fall. Because there was that time in the 90s, not that I was alive, obviously, where house prices did fall quite dramatically. Like, obviously we just had sort of fairly major recession, but like, you know, back then was pretty bad, and I know like a lot of people lost out on it. I know my mum and dad lost out on their first house, like lost equity in their first house, because the house prices were so ridiculous the way they fell. And you know, they fell in the last recession a bit as well, didn't they? But obviously not that much, because like a house that was worth £120,000 30 years ago is now worth like 1.1 million. It's insane. It's interesting. I find it interesting anyway to sort of think about when an equilibrium point might be reached, and what might happen. Like, you know, will people start to move away from London because there's too many people there? Or will it just continue to grow and grow and grow? But it can't grow forever, because like land is a finite resource technically. I don't know. Unless we start building houses on the sea like they did in Venice. I think that would be the best idea. Well, I know it's not sea, but you know, in that sort of circumstance, floating houses. That was another thing I watched the other day. I'm rambling on a bit, but I'm just going to ramble. It was a Grand Designs program episode, and they built a house that floated. Like, it was anchored to the ground, but it floated up and down on like big metal struts, so that when it flooded, when the area flooded, the house could rise up and like, not even just by a little bit, by like a couple of feet or something insane. Like, they build houses in Holland and stuff like that do rise up and down by about 10 centimeters, but this was like a new level. It was mad. And then obviously to make it float, because of all the furniture in the house, it was like 220 tons of house, but to make it float like at the right sort of angle, they had to put ballast in the bottom of the house. So they had to like fill the bottom of the house with bricks at the right point, so that it was floating the right way. It just was mad. It was mad. I don't even know like why you'd think, oh, that's a great idea, I'm going to build on the sea. But I suppose it's going to have to come to that, because population's expanding and the world isn't. So philosophically, guys, we're going to run out of space eventually, considering that 2/3 of the Earth's surface, or something crazy like that, was it 4/5 or something, is sea. We've got to use it, or we should just all become pirates. Maybe, I don't know. Doesn't look amazing to see. I don't care. I'm just going to carry on in my virtual city and not worry about the world's problems. I don't have to worry about the world's problems just yet. There's time for that. And also, my city looks magnificent. I'm really quite proud of it. It's fantastic. Yes. And I suppose I better wrap up the episode. As much as I'm enjoying just having a nice view out over. I can probably put this in cinematic as well, couldn't I? Oh, look at that. Yes. As much as I'm enjoying having a good old ramble and a good old view out over my city and an admire of the lights and the colours and stuff, it is well over the time limit on my video, so I am going to have to wrap it up. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please do leave a like and a comment, and also subscribe if you want to stay tuned for more updates, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.